July 2025, there was a change on the Bittensor network that introduced Uniswap liquidity. In this video, we're going to describe what Uniswap liquidity is and how you can invest and spend your Tau on alpha by contributing to Uniswap liquidity. If you've watched any of the taostats videos on subnet pools or liquidity pools, you've seen this image where there's Tau and there's alpha, and the subnet pool acts as the exchange between Tau and alpha. So if you have 10 Tau, that enters the liquidity pool, and at point 1, you might expect you get 100 alpha out, but you get 97 alpha due to slippage. We have videos and documentation about slippage. If you'd like to learn more, I'll put links down in the description about slippage. Now, this is a traditional Uniswap. You would call this a Uniswap v2 liquidity pool. But in July, Uniswap v3 launched. So what's Uniswap v3? You can see which subnets support Uniswap v3 on the subnet page and look for the v3 and the green check mark. Uniswap v3 is different in that all of the liquidity in the subnet pool is divided up into ticks. And a tick is a denomination of a price range. And there's thousands of them. So each tick is a very, very small range of price. And in each one of these ticks, there's a bit of liquidity, whether it's Tau or there's alpha. So let's say our price is right here at that point 1, and there's some alpha liquidity and there's some Tau liquidity. And as we go this way, as the price decreases, alpha goes in and Tau will go out. And if you go this way, Tau goes in and alpha goes out. So let's do an example here. We have 9.7 alpha. Someone injects half a Tau. What happens is the liquidity pool spits out that 4.7 alpha, and now at this tick, there's 4.7 alpha left and 0.5 Tau in the pool. Now what happens if 1 Tau comes in? Well, we're going to use up all the liquidity at this point. So now there's 0 alpha and there's 1 Tau. What's interesting now is the next place there's alpha liquidity, so where somebody puts in Tau to get alpha, the next place that is on this chart is at 0.4. So the price jumps once the liquidity at that 1 tick where there's availability is used up. So this is a very general example. Let's see how this actually works on the Bittensor chain. On the Bittensor chain, there's already liquidity in the pool. And so there's chain provided liquidity, right? There's alpha in the pool and there's Tau in the pool. So at point 1, there is already some alpha and Tau. Once that alpha used up, we'll pop over to the next tick. Then once all that alpha is used, and we just move small little increments up and down the price range. So with Uniswap v3, this is the chain provided liquidity, but as a user, you can also provide liquidity. And the way you do that is you define a range of ticks and the amount of Tau and the amount of alpha that you'd like to contribute. So it might look something like this. This is your range that you provided, and then the Tau that you provided is split up on the ticks where the Tau would be converted, and your alpha is put onto the ticks where alpha would be converted. So now if there's a price change, your alpha gets converted into Tau. And if we go all the way up, all of your alphas get converted into Tau. If we go the other way, all of your Taus get converted into alpha. So why would you do that? Well, if you remember, every single time there's staking performed, there are staking fees. And with Uniswap v3, that staking fee is shared amongst all the people who had liquidity at that position. So if you have a high amount of liquidity at the position where a stake was made, you will earn a large amount of those staking fees. So if you're looking to find a way beyond staking into a subnet or staking into root, you can provide liquidity and earn a little bit of Tau and a little bit of alpha on every single one of the stake transactions that happens in a subnet. There are a couple of different strategies here. You can go really narrow, and then there's a bigger percentage of your alpha in that narrow range. Or you can go broad, where there might be a little bit less alpha and Tau at each tick, but it it goes over a larger range. So if the price fluctuates a lot, you'll still be in making staking fees at every single transaction. So what can go wrong? Well, in this case, the price has risen, so it's outside of your range. At this point, any staking action that occurs, you will make no fees because it's outside of the range. The other thing that happened here is all of your alpha was sold for tau, and alpha is increased in price. So if the alpha keeps increasing in price, you still only have tau. You don't have any alpha. If it goes the other way, now you have no tau and it's all alpha, but the price of the alpha has gone down. So it is important to track your liquidity pools and make sure that you're still, in the range so that you're still earning fees. And then if you've gone out of that range, maybe you want to rebalance and get back into the range. So what does this look like on taostats? Here's the subnet page. And on the subnet page, you can see that V3, and we can see the green check mark for subnets that support Uniswap V3. And here you can see that 51 does. And you can sort this so you can see all of the greens in one location. If you have liquidity positions on your account page, you'll see balances, which are your stakes, your transactions, and you'll see a new tab with liquidity positions showing the positions you have open with the initial tau and current tau, and which way it's changed, your initial alpha and your current alpha and how it's changed, the price ranges that your position is live in, and then how much you've earned in tau and alpha during that transaction. Let's look at Celium and the open positions in the Celium subnet. Here we're on the Celium subnet page. We can see the price is 0.08. Down here where you can buy and sell alpha, you can set limit orders. And if Uniswap V3 liquidity is on, there's a new liquidity tab. Inside that liquidity tab, you can set a range and deposit tokens. We'll look at that in a second. But we can also see all of the open positions, and you could also look at all of the closed positions as well. So here we can see right now there are 11 open positions. We can see that most of them are active. There are a couple that are inactive because they've gone outside. The max price is above 0.08. It's 0.08, 0.0003. So it's above 0.008. So these two no longer have any alpha, and they are out of range. They're not going to receive any of the stake weight. These ones are all still in the range, so every single staking action will either earn them tau or earn them alpha. When you're setting a liquidity position, you can set it over the full range. And the full range of prices is from 0 to infinity. And subnet prices can really only go up to 1, and most of them aren't that high. So you probably don't want to do this. You probably want to set a custom range. So when setting a price, maybe the price is 0.08, so maybe we'll go with 0.06 to 0.1. 0.08 is sort of right in the middle there, right? And I don't have a lot of free tau or alpha, but let's go with 0.1 here. And it'll tell me how much tau I need to put in. I could go maybe 0.18. That's too much. I don't have enough tau. And now I have enough alpha and enough tau. So I could set this liquidity position between 0.6 and 0.1. If you skew it a little bit, you'll need to put different values of tau and alpha in, depending whether you're going, if you think this subnet is going to go up in price, you could maybe say, I want to take this up to 0.2. And then the amount that you'd have to put in here is going to be different. It's going to be a lot less tau. You can see the number went way, way down. Or if you think the price is going to drop even more, you could say, this could be 0.002, and this is 0.1. And then again, the ranges are going to be different here of how much you can do. I don't have enough tau to do that. Let's go back to our once you've found the range where you're happy, you just click Add Liquidity. You'll see an alert. You hit Confirm, enter your password, and your liquidity position will be set. Taostats is one of the first interfaces where you can add liquidity to subnets and then monitor it in real time. Uniswap v3 liquidity is an exciting new option that's available inside the taostats network, and we're really happy to be able to support users who want to avail themselves of this tool. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to this channel for more information about Bittensor and taostats.